Homo habilis tribe, our earliest ancestors, do not fear the dark for its shadows, but for the silence that hides death. Thirst has parched their throats for 3 suns, and the last of their dried roots crumbles to dust in a man's calloused hand. This is not just a hunt for water, it is a fight to outrun extinction. And their first hope lies in a shallow cave carved into the rock face where a woman presses her whimpering baby to her chest. Her ape-like hair is matted with sweat as she listens for the growl of beasts beyond the entrance. And she wraps the infant tighter in a tattered pelt to shield him from the night's chill. Not far from her, a man and woman huddle before a small, flickering fire, stoking it with dry twigs to keep the night's chill, and any curious predators, at bay. The man's wobbly legs shift now and then, a relic of their long march, while the woman plucks a bug from the fire's edge and offers it to him. A meager source of protein. Elsewhere, another man carries a whiny child on his back as he treks through a field of tall, golden grass, his eyes scanning the horizon for signs of water or edible plants. The child tugs at his hair, crying for his mother, but the man murmurs soft, guttural sounds to soothe him, knowing stopping now could mean being left behind. Above them, the full moon hangs low, painting the grassland in silver light that turns every shadow into a potential threat, whether it's a slithering snake or a stalking lion. Back at the cave, the woman with the baby notices a faint, glowing light seeping through a crack in the rock, and she nudges the man beside her to investigate. He creeps toward the crack, his hand gripping a sharp stone, and peers through to see a small pool of water reflecting the moon, their first break in days. On a jagged rock 100 paces from the cave, a wolf stands tall, its howl slicing through the full moon's glow as it marks territory. Unaware, the tribe watches it from the shadows. The tribe freezes, not daring to breathe, for a wolf's call often means a pack is near, and packs mean death for a small group of exhausted Homo habilis. Down a rocky hill, a goat picks at sparse patches of moss, its hooves clicking against stone as it moves, oblivious to the pair of eyes tracking it from behind a boulder. The tracker is a young man from the tribe, his dark skin blending with the rock, and he readies his stone spear, knowing a goat's meat could feed the baby for days. Deep in the forest, they find what the elders call the Cave of the Gods, a large cavern with walls that glow faintly from minerals. And they rush inside to seek shelter from the coming storm. Inside, the air is cool and dry, and the tribe spreads out to rest. But one woman stays alert, her hand on her baby, knowing even sacred places can hold danger. In the center of the grassland, a massive beast, likely a primitive bison, stands grazing, its horns sharp and its body thick with muscle, a reminder of the power of the wild. A group of men from the tribe watches from a distance, whispering to each other, debating whether to risk a hunt. The beast could feed them all, but it could also kill them with one charge. Back in the smaller cave, the woman with the baby rocks him gently, singing a wordless tune that echoes softly off the walls, a sound that feels like the first spark of humanity. The man who carried the child earlier now lies on a pile of dry hay, his eyes closing for the first time in hours, but he keeps his hand on his stone knife, ready to wake at the first noise. As the storm approaches, the man and woman who were by the fire earlier huddle closer, adding more twigs to keep the flame alive, for fire is their only defense against both cold and creatures. The wind picks up, howling through the cave's entrance, and the woman pulls a thick pelt over herself and the man, while he holds the fire steady to prevent it from being snuffed out. Inside, the Cave of the Gods, a few tribe members explore the back, finding strange markings on the walls, dents made by ancient beasts, and they back away, awe filling their faces. One elder runs his fingers over the markings, then turns to the others, making gestures that mean, "This place is old, older than us." A silent story passed through motion. In the cave's dark corner, a bear stirs, its eyes glowing in the light from a crack in the ceiling. And the tribe freezes, their breaths caught in their throats. They had not smelled its scent over the storm. The bear sniffs the air, then lumbers toward the entrance, seemingly uninterested in the small humans, and the tribe lets out a collective sigh of relief as it disappears into the rain. At dawn, the storm passes, and the tribe emerges from their caves to find the grassland glistening with dew. A herd of deer grazing in the distance, their tails flicking at flies. The men grab their spears and head toward the herd, moving slowly and quietly, while the women gather dew from leaves to quench their thirst. The baby now awake and cooing. As the sun climbs higher, the tribe reaches a river, its water clear and cool, and they rush to drink, cupping their hands to bring the liquid to their parched mouths. A few children splash in the shallow parts, laughing, a rare sound, and their mothers watch, smiling, as the men wade into the water to catch fish with their bare hands. On the riverbank, a group of elephants walks slowly, their trunks swinging as they drink, and the tribe keeps its distance. Elephants are gentle, but they can turn violent if provoked. The elder points to the elephants, then to the west, making gestures that mean, they go where the grass is green, and the tribe decides to follow. Where there's grass, there's water and prey. By midday, the sun is scorching, and the tribe stops to rest in the shade of a large tree, where a man sharpens his stone spear on a rock, preparing for whatever lies ahead. A woman sits beside him, weaving a basket from grass to carry roots and berries, while a child plays with a small stone, tossing it into the air and catching it. In the distance, a fire burns, small, but visible, and the tribe tenses, wondering if it's another group of humans or a wild blaze started by lightning. The elder sends 2 men to investigate, and they creep toward the fire, their spears ready, only to find it's a small brush fire, likely from a lightning strike the night before. They return to the tribe with the news, and the group relaxes, then uses the remaining embers to start their own fire, cooking the fish they caught earlier over the flames. As the fish cooks, the woman with the baby feeds him small bites, blowing on each piece to cool it, while the man who carried the child shares his portion with an older tribe member who can no longer hunt. When the sun begins to set, the tribe packs up, ready to move again, and the man with the sharpened spear leads the way, his eyes scanning the trees for signs of danger. Behind him, the woman weaves as she walks, her fingers moving quickly, while the children follow close, holding onto each other's hands to stay together. That night, they set up camp in a new cave, larger than the last, and a group of people stands around the fire, sharing stories through gestures, of the bear, the elephants, the water they found. The man and woman who huddled together during the storm sit side by side, their shoulders touching, while the elder stands in the center, telling the story of the Cave of the Gods, with broad, sweeping motions. As the night wears on, most of the tribe falls asleep, but a few stay awake to keep watch, their eyes fixed on the cave entrance, listening for the howl of wolves or the growl of bears. In the distance, a fire burns in the desert, small and far away, and the watchers wonder if it's another tribe, or something else. Something they can't yet name. Inside the cave, a man with a large head and a thick beard sits apart from the others, sharpening a stone axe, his movements slow and deliberate, as if he's planning for the days ahead. Near him, the woman with the baby sits in front of the fire, rocking the infant to sleep, her eyes heavy but her hands steady, knowing she must stay awake to protect him. By the river the next morning, a group of tribe members wades in the water, washing off the dust of the march, while others gather reeds to make more baskets and pelts. A few naked children splash in the shallows, chasing small fish, while their mothers laugh and call to them, warning them not to go too deep. On the edge of the field, a man stands with fire in the background, his spear raised, as he watches a group of antelope graze, calculating the best time to strike. Beside him, a bird sits on top of a tree, chirping loudly, and the man pauses. Birds often warn of predators, so he waits, listening for any other sounds. When the bird flies away, the man signals to the others, and they creep toward the antelope, their steps light, their breaths quiet, knowing this hunt could mean food for a week. A man in a costume made of animal skins stands next to the fire, dancing in slow circles, his movements mimicking the elephants they saw earlier, a ritual to ask for good luck in the hunt. In the desert, a woman and man walk side by side, fire in the background, as they search for dry wood to carry back to camp. their feet sinking slightly in the sand. The tribe settles into the new cave as the fire burns low. The baby now sleeping soundly and the men sharpening stones for tomorrow's hunt, but beyond the grasslands. A herd of mammoths moves closer, and with them, both danger and the promise of survival. A reminder of how Homo habilis endured, one fire, one hunt, one night at a time. Thank you for joining Homo habilis History Hub on this journey. If you found this story meaningful, please support us by liking and sharing the video. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to continue exploring the grand chapters of human history with us. Goodbye, and we'll see you on the next journey through time.